If you're always buying stuff online, but you're actually really stressed out about how much money you're spending, I'm going to give you a couple of steps for how to turn the whole thing around. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Dr. Haley, the Zero Judgment Budget Coach. And we don't do judgment around here because I know you've got plenty of that going on in your own mind already. So let me guess, you've got credit card debt from lots of little and maybe bigger purchases. It's not like just one big debt. It's not just like one big medical debt or student loans. It's all the little things that keep adding up because you just keep spending, you just keep buying stuff, and you tell yourself, I'm going to figure it out next month, or like next paycheck, I'm going to clear out some of this and I'm going to start fresh, or next month, I'm going to start a budget. And every time you go to click add to cart or buy now, you're thinking, oh my God, I told myself I wasn't going to do this. I told myself I was going to cut back. But then it's like in that moment, it feels like, well, we need this, or this is really going to help, or this is going to help me become the person who earns more money, who can afford all of this stuff. And every time you actually hit that like buy now button, you feel this little twinge of guilt and shame, like, oh my God, did I really want to do this? But yes, I did, but no, I didn't. And there's like all this conflict going on in your mind. What I remember most about this pattern in my own life is this total conflict of like wanting to take control of my finances and wanting to just feel empowered and proud of my bank account. But also the other side was I didn't want to know. Like I would actually say to myself, I just don't even want to know what the credit card statement is. I don't even want to know how bad it is. It was like I had all these other fires to put out in my life. Like there were so many things going on, so much stress, so much drama, so much, job changes or family issues or just body issues and things where it felt like this is my one outlet, shopping, or this one thing is going to help me feel better. And I just need this right now and I will figure it out later. I kept thinking there would be a really good time to get started. I don't know, like there was going to be a date on the calendar where it would literally say like, start your budget today. And there never was such a thing. There was never a good day. There was never a good time. There was always a reason why like I would get money and then the money would disappear. And I kept hoping that I would get a sign and it never came. So I'm telling you right now, if you're watching this, this is your sign. So if you're stuck in that space of like, I really need to fix this, like I'm going down this path where it's only getting worse. My credit card statement is only getting worse, but I really don't want to know. Like, I don't want to look at how bad it is. If that's the space you're in, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do. The very first thing is an acknowledgement. Like we're just going to accept and say that we can't change the past. It doesn't even matter at this point. The only thing we can do is make a plan from here on out. And so feeling guilty or bad or whatever is not going to change what happened in the past. And the other thing is that a lot of people think like, if I feel really bad about this and if I shame myself and I make myself feel terrible about this, I won't repeat this mistake. And let me ask you how well that's worked so far in your life, because that never worked for me. Like shaming myself into like saving more money or working out or eating healthier or whatever my goals were, that motivation is really short term. Like that's not going to last. People change for two different possible reasons. Either they're running away from problems, like in a good way, like pain. We don't want that. We're going to avoid that. We're going to make better decisions, right? Or they're running toward something they want. So something that's really good, like their goal, dream life, they're running toward it. And I'm just telling you that even though you may initially be motivated by like all the pain and frustration and shame of having debt or making these decisions that really stress you out, that's only going to go so long, because if things start to get a little bit better and your bank account gets a little bit better and your credit card has a little bit more room on it, then we fall back into like, well, maybe it's okay. Maybe I can spend some more. Maybe I can buy some more things because like it's not so bad now. And that like mediocre space of it's not so bad now is where a lot of people live. Like that's their like they hit the wall there and they just keep bouncing back and then coming back forward. They never end up way over here of where life is really good because they don't make it to the I want that life part. And so I just want you to remember that part of this is making the decision that you don't deserve to live your whole life in this cycle of like the end of the world to, well, it's not so bad. I think I can survive here. Like you deserve to thrive way over here. So step one is we are not going to judge the past. We're not going to shame ourselves. We're just going to set our goals for where we want them to be. And we're going to move toward that, knowing that we deserve to have what we want. Now, step two is where you're going to map your money. So yes, this is like sort of a budget, but this is like pre-budgeting and everybody hates the word budget anyways. So the point is we're going to map out what you project your income to be for the month. So if you get paid $4,000, $5,000, $20,000 in any given month, like if that's what you're expecting to come in, what are you going to do with it? What's your plan? Where, you're going to allocate it on paper beforehand. Like when this money comes in, here's what my plan is. Here's what I'm going to do with it. Maybe you need $2,000 for the mortgage and $500 for groceries and $100 for the vacation fund. Maybe you need $400 for debt minimum payments only. And based on everything else that you map out, you have exactly $62 left over to send extra to debt. This is how you start a zero-based budget. The very first part is just the plan. It's like where you map it out and it all looks fabulous on paper. And you may have done this. You may have already done this. You're like, oh, I've made budgets before. I'm willing to bet it was groceries, gas, and bills. And that's all that was on there. You probably weren't budgeting for vacation or for car repairs or for the wholesale membership that's going to renew or the Amazon membership or the whatever. You're probably not actually budgeting for clothes and haircuts and toilet paper and like all the things that we actually spend money on. Like the kids' book fair. I just did the book fair in my day job today. I'm a school librarian, if you didn't know that. So you didn't budget for all the places where your money is actually going. And this is why people end up with debt. You didn't budget for girls' night, but you went out anyways and you spent the money. And I say all this because it's not judgment. I know exactly what this is like. And this is where my clients go so wrong in their budget. Like their map for the month is not actually accurate. It's like 40% of the spending. So after you're done budgeting for all the things like dog food and vet bills and building up your emergency fund, which yes, you need to do while you're paying off debt, then you move on to the next part of a zero-based budget, which is to actually budget the money you already have. So you did the plan and now you do the budget. And the budget is only based on the money in your bank account and in your savings account. And yes, we budget savings. We budget it into savings categories. So if you've already saved $500 and it's your emergency fund, you're going to budget that money into your emergency fund category. This gives you a picture right away of all the money that you have right now. How far will it go? How long will it last before you need more money? Now, as hard as this whole step can be to do all of this and see how far your money is going to last, the good news is you don't have to account for past spending. So whatever date it is, like today happens to be the 12th of the month, we start today. Like you don't have to go back and be like, well, a week ago, because it was still this month, I spent it. Like, it doesn't matter. It's in the past. We start today. Your budget goes forward and you make a plan for whatever money you have now and where it's going to take you in the future. And you plug it in, and whenever you get to zero, you have to stop. Even if you've got bills that are still due later this month and you know you can't pay them with the money that's in your bank account because that's going to be used for other things that are going to be due sooner, you leave it unfunded, whatever is unfunded, and then whenever you get more money, then you plug the money in. So we can only imagine we're only spending in cash if that were true. And whatever cash you have is whatever bills you can pay, whatever spending you can do. And then when you do receive more money, then we can allocate it for future things. This tells you exactly how far your money can go. And if you're still stuck in this mindset of like, yeah, but I just really don't want to know. I don't want to, I can't face it. I can't face how bad it is, because if I know, then I'll really know how much I can't be spending at, TJ Maxx or online. Like, then I'll know how bad it is every time I buy something. Listen, I get it. I totally get it. But here's what I would challenge you. I would challenge you to try this for 2 months, 60 days, like that's it. And if at the end of 60 days, you feel more stressed out by knowing what the situation really is, you can walk away from it. You can go back to what you're doing. You can go back to not knowing. But if you haven't actually tried what's called a zero-based budget, like exactly what I explained, where we map a typical month, but then we don't budget like that because, we actually spend differently than we plan for. If you do the 2 parts where you map it out and then you truly only budget the money you have at any given time, and you follow exactly what I teach with my zero-based budget. So I have the zero debt budget system, and that's a spreadsheet, or you could use YNAB. It's an app, either or. If you follow a true zero-based budget for 60 days, you might be shocked at how much less stressed you are. I say you might be, like, the truth is all of my clients are. They're all shocked at how much less stressed out and how much more in control they feel of their money at the end of 60 days. It doesn't mean the debt has disappeared by any means. It doesn't mean like they still don't want to spend money, but it's a whole new level of like, oh my God, I've never budgeted like this before. And I wish I knew this sooner. Like, I've been doing this wrong my whole life, and it's no wonder I have debt. Like, that was my exact experience. I budgeted wrong my whole life. I wasn't actually budgeting. I thought I was, but I was making a list of bills and groceries and gas, and then like spending and hoping for the best and counting receipts at the end of the month when the damage was done. And that's not how you actually get ahead in life. And it's almost like I felt like they were keeping the truth and keeping secrets from me. Like, oh my God, there's a correct way to do this and nobody ever told me. No, that nobody ever told me. Nobody ever taught me like this. So that's why I teach this now. And so, yes, I highly recommend YNAB by all means. Like, if you want to try the app, YNAB, you can go to my website. On the free stuff page, you can get a second month free with the link on my website, because I am a YNAB certified budget coach. But I also know that a lot of people struggle with the learning curve of YNAB. And that's why I developed my zero debt budget system. It's all based in a Google spreadsheet, super easy to use. And I actually walk people through how to do it. Like, I've got a whole series of instruction videos. And just this month, I launched something brand new for people who use my spreadsheet. So Money Freedom Club is now live online. We have our own membership community. I've been dropping private podcast episodes each week. It's super fun. You can ask questions and I'll help you figure out anything that goes wrong in your budget or what you should do first as far as budgeting. And yeah, the whole community is free if you subscribe to the spreadsheet. So if you've been dealing with credit card debt for a really long time because you just feel like you're never going to get out of it, you're never going to figure out how to break the paycheck to paycheck cycle, or, just manage your money in a way that works for you, that's not time consuming, that's not stressful, that doesn't like totally restrict every single thing you want in life, and you're like, nothing like this exists. It does exist, and I can show you exactly how to use it. So I challenge you to break out of that whole like, I don't want to know how bad it is, and try knowing for 60 days and then see how you feel. All right, everyone, as always, if you've got questions, you can drop them in the comments below.